Hello, students. Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, dear students, once again, welcome back to another session. So, in our previous video, we looked at interrogative pronouns. So, we were able to look at what interrogative pronouns are, and again, we, learned a thing or two under the interrogative pronoun case, where we, agreed that interrogative pronouns can be used in sentences either in the subjective case or the objective case. So, dear students, in our video or in our session that that have has just started, we want to look at another type of pronouns, and the type of pronouns that we want to look at this time round are relative pronouns. So, talking about relative pronouns, dear students, a relative pronoun is a special pronoun that introduces a relative clause. And again, a relative clause is a type of subordinate clause which modifies a noun and gives detail about it. So sometimes we refer to a relative clause as adjectival clauses. So a relative pronoun relates to the word it modifies. For example, let us look at the sentence that we have below. So, the man who died last night is my neighbor. The man who died last night is my neighbor. So, in the above example, the relative pronoun who relates to the noun that is the man, which it modifies. So, when we say that a relative pronoun relates to the word it modifies, then this means that it relates to the word that it is describing, that is by giving more information about that word. So the example that we have there help us understand that better. So it also introduces the relative clause who died last night. So the relative clause that we have in the sentence, the man who died last night is my neighbor, is who died last night. So again, remember I said that these are relative clauses are sometimes called adjectival clauses. So they are called adjectival clauses because they describe, that is the word they modify by giving more or additional information about that word. And remember, that is what adjectives do. Adjectives are describing words. So there are five main relative pronouns. We have got five main relative pronouns. So the five main relative pronouns are who, whom, whose, which, that. Then we also have who as a subject and whom as an object when we use them to talk about people. So whose is used for possession, that is indicating ownership, and lastly, which is for things. That is also used for things. Which and that are used to represent things. So let us look at examples in sentences. So here are some of the sentences that we have as our examples. So the car which the terrorists used exploded. The car which the terrorists used exploded. So in this sentence, that is in our first sentence, which the terrorists used is a relative clause or an adjectival clause. So the second sentence, The driver whom I called yesterday will be here soon. Then we have our third sentence. Patients whose relatives are wealthy pay extra. Patients whose relatives are wealthy pay extra. So the next example that we have is the car that she drives is new. The car that she drives is new. So again, our relative pronoun in the sentence is that. So in our next example, the doctor whose phone is switched off has left. The doctor whose phone is switched off has left. So the relative pronoun that we have in that example is whose, and the relative clause is whose phone is switched off. So our second last example that we have in a sentence is the teacher who is tall is my class teacher. The teacher who is tall is my class teacher. So again, in that sentence, the relative pronoun who modifies the teacher. So it modifies the teacher. So we are talking about the teacher who is tall. So it, it describes a person in specific by giving some unique details about that person. So our last example that we have in our sentence is my cousin whose car has been washed is an engineer. My cousin whose car has been washed is an engineer. So again, our relative clause there is whose car has been washed. So that implies that the speaker uh, uh, has a number of cousins, but the the specific cousin the speaker is talking about is the cousin whose car has been washed. So another thing that is also worth noting, dear students, is that whose can be used with things, and of which can be a substitute of whose. So when we use whose as our relative pronoun in a sentence, then sometimes we can, substitute it with of which. So I want you to, keenly study the examples, the two examples that we have below. So in our examples, we have the security officer is looking for the phone whose owner is complaining. So in another example, we have now the relative pronoun whose replaced with or substituted with of which. So the security officer is looking for the phone of which the owner is missing. So of which is now substituting the relative pronoun whose. So relative pronouns can be found only in sentences which in sentences which have more than one clause. So the relative pronouns also introduce the subordinate clauses in a sentence. So example that is to illustrate or to explain that the people whose cars were stolen reported the matter. So in that sentence, we have the relative pronoun whose being used to introduce the subordinate clause that is cars were stolen, that is, were stolen, reported the matter. Remember, a subordinate clause is a clause that is in the form of a dependent sentence. So, dear students, that brings us to the end of this session, and I want to believe that it has been super helpful. Once again, my name is Mr. Stanley Ombogo. Thank you for staying tuned. Until next time, bye.